Right, so what are we going to watch now? We'll watch a bit of The Queen's Gambit. Deep in the recesses of Netflix depravity. Because it's the one that's like one of the top 10. It's relevant. It won't be when I get this video out. Jesus! No, it's about chess, of course. It's pretty obvious. Fucking goggle box. I'm not gonna have a pizza while doing this again because it's just fucking stupid. I can't enjoy the pizza one. Poor me. Again, like Netflix, the production value is very good, and always you can rely on Netflix now. And it's good that a streaming service, you can rely upon that on these streaming services.
And I'm sure that you and I are going to be good friends.
Clearly not. Immediately. I mean, these are all things we've seen before with the very forceful religious orphanages and that whole very obvious thing like, oh, we're going to be friends, but they're not going to be fucking friends. Okay, I've been hit with quite a lot of cliches just in the first 8 minutes, and we met with the latest one with this character who's in every film like this, whether it be a prison or an orphanage or a boarding school or whatever. There's always that one who's like, I know how to survive around here, just stick with me, kid. The Morgan Freeman character from Shawshank, that kind of archetype, that role. I mean, I'm gonna press play, I might be wrong, but
Say the green one's up for the nighttime, otherwise they turn off right when you need to turn off.
see, she's the one that coaches her. Okay, this does feel very predictable, I've got to say. You're adopted! Can you give me some feedback? Is this good lighting? Is it good, or am I overexposed? Or am I underexposed? Probably not. Okay, I'm not eating the rest of this shit. I mean, you can criticise me for wasting food because hungry Africans could have had it, but I don't give a fuck. We've seen this sort of story many times before. It's a fucking flashback within a flashback. If I was a fucking disgraceful piece of shit, I'd say it's flashbackception. But because I'm not one of those fucking morons, I'm not going to say that.
I don't expect you to understand.
What I understand.
You'll never understand.
You're not taking care of yourself.
You're a man and I'm a woman and you just don't understand us. I'm not digging this. This seems tailor-made for a kind of female demographic. Those sort of books, which is probably based off a book, that panders to the same demographic. Maybe the book's good. This whole sort of coming of age, rough upbringing, orphaned, institutionalized with these shitty authority figures. It all just seems like the same sort of film/television series. It's the same story, it's the same book. Because I know there are a lot of books like this. I haven't fucking barely read any books, but I just know there are so many books like this. It seems tailor-made for those particular females femaloids who like these sort of books, like The Cuckoo's Nest, Girl Interrupted, which is essentially just The Cuckoo's Nest again. There have been so many films like this. I'm just saying there's so many books as well that aren't their own thing. They're just copying of one great book or a few great books made long ago, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure that Cuckoo's Nest would have started this style of book with these sort of tropes, because that's the one that's remembered, and the film is fucking brilliant. You can say this style of watching half an episode of a show isn't a way to do it, but seriously, there's too much serviceable stuff on this site. There's too much stuff that you see advertised with these big budgets. They put a lot of money into it and no one ever talks about it ever again. And I'm doing a bit of investigation and watching some of this stuff and seeing if it's different, if there's hidden gems. But so far, you have to be picky. You have to just be quick, because chances are you'll be right. They pump out so much shows. A formulaic TV show, probably based off a formulaic novel. Cuckoo's Nest, Cuckoo's Nest, Cuckoo's Nest, Cuckoo's Nest, Cuckoo's Nest, Cuckoo's Nest. I don't have my own identity, I'm just robbing from Cuckoo's Nest. There's nothing subtle about this. I feel like I kind of want to shut it off now, but I feel like I need to see a bit more of the adult bit. But usually with these Netflix shows, a few episodes of the adult, maybe 2 or 3, and then you have the flashback one where you get the origin story, she meets Ra's al Ghul and all that. I'm just going to say, with these Marvel films, people are like, oh, they're all the same, they're just repackaged and, put into each other. Every fucking genre can be formulated like Marvel films are. It's just they're the most popular. But honestly, true story films are just as lazy. Marvel films actually have a bit more going on. Piss easy to make a successful true story film. Oh, this is so shit. This hasn't got its own voice. It's just all cliche and all formula. I'm not being nitpicking because these flaws are fucking right on the surface. So far, there's nothing unique or special about this. It's a waste of my time and it's a waste of your time. I mean, usually origin stories featuring the child version of the main character do tend to have a lot of cliches in them. So maybe it's just this episode. Maybe when we get to the adult side of things, it gets a bit more good.
You cocksucker.
Ooh. This is such an edgy fucking TV show. Because a little girl said cocksucker. So I'm going to stop there. Just because of the onslaught of cliches, it was too much to bear. I wouldn't recommend that. People are going to watch it anyway. It's probably going to be one season long, I reckon. The story, yeah, limited series. It's a book. Fuck, I don't know. What should we watch next? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, but people probably enjoy it. But I don't condone formulaic media that takes no risks. At least judging by the first episode, you know, might be most avant-garde shit going as soon as you get to the second episode, but get to the next one, which I don't know where it is. Ratched. Okay. So just saying, Cuckoo's Nest, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the film, one of my top 5 films. No, I do adore that film. It is one of my favourites. It has a personal place in my heart. Yeah, it's a timeless masterpiece, I suppose. As soon as I saw Ratched and the nurse being advertised everywhere, I knew exactly what was happening. Watched the trailer and I was like, this is completely different to Cuckoo's Nest when it comes to tone. It was so over the top, and it was like, it had gone from Nurse Ratched being this kind of slight, fairly manipulative but realistic, malevolent person. It was done realistically. Like, she was a nasty, manipulative person, but it was done realistically. You could have met someone in your life who's like that kind of thing. You could have known a teacher almost. But this I watched the trailer and she's like murdering people and torturing people and like loves getting pain out of people, and it's just so on the nose and obvious. And I don't know if it's supposed to be a prequel to the film or it's just a complete reimagining and it's just coming from the book, has its own style. Good cinematography. I like the look. All Netflix produced films, shows. Very good use of colour. I just want to know how purposeful. It's like in the horror genre. It's like a Hitchcock film, almost. A really on-the-nose Hitchcock film. Very psycho-esque. Okay, I'm just having a name like Nurse Ratched. And that's not a very subtle name, but still that film is just so, it's filmed in a documentary style. All the characters feel so realistic and you forget about the name, but maybe the book is a bit more cartoonish just because that name could imply. Maybe people in the comments could tell me what sort of tone the book has. This might just be going off that. A bit more of an overt tone because, yeah, Nurse Ratched. It's a very overt name. Like, it's doing a very good job at going for the style it's going for, but I just want to know, like, how purposeful it is. Because if it's trying to convey these horrible things that these institutions did to people were so like graphic and awful, they are almost cartoonish in nature. So maybe the filmmaking is this cartoonish because it's trying to get that across. On the other hand, it could just be more of that black comedy juxtaposing thing, which has been played out a lot now, where it's like, oh, it's really bad, but we're going to do it in a slightly comedic way because we're edgy, and it's just a thing that's been done to death. So we'll have to see. Like, the only good Netflix things, in my opinion, are the ones that are made by already established directors that were good before Netflix, like Fincher, Scorsese, Coen brothers. I do like the use of colour, as I've said many times before. Costume design is obviously just immaculate. I mentioned Spaced before, this Simon Pegg show. In the second season, there is this brilliant Cuckoo's Nest parody. It's so good. I don't think I've seen a film with this actress in, but I just see her face about all the time. Good actress. Like, this video I'm making now, I was kind of doing, okay, I'm going to do this recommendation thing, but if I'm not enthused at the level of creativity or artistry being displayed by these shows or films, I'm not really going to recommend. So if they're all just not very good, sorry, buddy. Maybe The Boys from Amazon Prime, or Mr. Robot from Amazon Prime. But what's the rule when it comes to TV shows like this? How many episodes can you give it? This is a limited series. The first episode should get you. Because she's this smart, cunning character. She's going to have all these like intellectual arguments with these people and destroy them down to their core. So she has to say all these clever things. But you can always tell when there haven't been clever writers writing what's supposed to be a clever character. The best examples of this is like every intelligent character in Game of Thrones in the earlier seasons, how they talk in those seasons compared to how they talk in later seasons. They all become fucking idiots in the later seasons because the writing just went down the shitter. They stopped being George R. R. Martin characters, which is the only thing holding the show up. We've got one good recommendation so far. We've got The Trial of Chicago 7, which is the 7th film in the line of Trial of Chicago series.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you until the moment our drinks are delivered for you to give me your pitch.
There's a cliche.
I didn't invite you to sit.
There's a cliche. It's a very stylistic show. So far it is all just surface level, like cool colours, cool sets and shit, but I want to know if it's purposeful. I want to know if it's done for like clever reasons. And I know Netflix do a lot of very stylistic things with no artistic purpose, just to have the basic aesthetic of it there. I keep wanting to say, oh, I thought that was very on the nose, that was very cartoonish, but it just seems to be embracing that. It just wants to be like that, and I want to see a valid reason for why it's chosen to do this. Like, a lot of these shows, I guess, are kind of good for just semi-light entertainment. If you're not there to be all, what's the artistic reasons? I get it. But you probably would have tried these shows out before. But if I find a really good show, well, hopefully I do. I'm gonna go get a drink. The score is very Hitchcockian as well, channeling Vertigo. And so, right, I'm just gonna look and see, skip ahead a bit, maybe come back. This episode's probably going to end with her putting on the nurse outfit, right? Okay, she's got the nurse outfit on now. No, there's 40 minutes. Okay, well, so like today she gets the job and she becomes the infamous Nurse Ratched. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I'm not really interested to watch more, so I'll say probably going to be the same sort of substance all the way through, same style. But if you like films like Girl Interrupted, if you like films like Cuckoo's Nest, or if you like the books, I'd recommend this. Nothing really insulting about it, just nothing particularly captivating for me. But yeah, the thing is, if you do like Cuckoo's Nest, it's a substantial film, Cuckoo's Nest. This isn't substantial, but you might like it because people like spin-offs anyway. You probably would have watched already anyway. This is a useless video. Moving on. Okay, where's the fucking list? What's next? Come on, something fun. What's the time? Fucking hell, time goes quick, doesn't it? Okay, I'll stick with Netflix Ridge. Yeah, watch Haunting of Bly. I have not seen The Haunting of Hill House. I assume it's its own, there's separate narrative, so it doesn't matter. Really in a horror atmosphere with all these lights on. So yeah, Haunting of Bly Manor. Much better. That flew by. Yeah, that was actually really good. That was a big improvement. I might actually watch more of that. I probably won't because I have to do this shit. It takes up all my time, so I could never really do that. But yeah, but I would. I think I might. If I get the chance, I'll probably watch more of that. Yeah, that was well more entertaining. The acting was so much better, and all the characters were just way more likeable. The lead actress was really good, really particular performance. The whole thing just had its own voice. It had the benefits of being that Netflix show with all that money behind it, with great production value, but also it had its own voice. I guess because Mike Flanagan must be a pretty good director. I mean, I like this, and I like Gerald's Game, so it leaves an impression on you, not just another Netflix show. Very, very likeable characters. It was much easier to get engaged with that, and I don't have a particular leaning to horror films or horror TV shows. No, much better than the other two. So yeah, I'm happy that there's actually something good that I've found. But yeah, I would definitely recommend Haunting of Bly Manor if you haven't already, especially if you're a horror fan. It was kind of a little bit creepy. It was more intriguing than scary, but nothing much happened, but I was still intrigued to what was going on and stuff, and the child performances were brilliant as well. That's a very rare thing to have. Great. Well, not great, but just good. I liked it. It's almost 5-3, so I think I'm going to do one more thing. I think the next one will be the Barbarians or Barbarian. It's just Barbarians. I think it's got Vikings in. The Barbarians. Looks pretty fucking cool. Might be the next Game of Thrones. Ooh, sex, suicide, sexual threat, sexual images, violence, injury detail. That battle lasted 5,000 years. Going for a Vikings vibe, are we? Never got into Vikings. It was, I don't know, not terrible, but is it foreign? Might be good then, because makes it better when they're foreign. Can you put the subtitles back down there, please? That'd be nice, thank you. Yeah, a lot of Vikings related things, they always start with like a kid's sequence, always running about, mocking about. You shouldn't be doing this, little brother. They demonstrate their little fighting techniques. Play fighting. And then the dad's like, stop this. Stop this immediately. Be serious. This is always that, isn't it? She's a strong Viking. She's a strong female character. I think this sort of shit is for like history buffs more than people who want to see like good filmmaking or good storytelling in the Viking genre. This whole genre, like Game of Thrones, stands on its own, at least the good parts of it do. That kind of established a new way of fantasy and storytelling, but this is all, it's just kind of a checklist of historical events, a lot of them. Fuck. Ever since Game of Thrones brought that edge to the medieval genre, like the swearing and the fucking and all that and the violence, there have been so many shit copycats, just generic stories with generic characters and gratuitous violence for the sake of it. Just fuck. It's a lame genre. Like the same thing I was saying with the true story things, like a lot of like lazy ass true story films are just kind of checklists, and because the story itself is profound, like this amazing story, they think the film will be profound automatically, and a lot of people think films like that are half-arsed are profound and they get away with it. Bit similar here, not really, because barely anyone likes Viking movies like they do true story movies or slash TV shows. But in terms of history buffs again, they'll like this just because it includes something they know. Like, okay, back with I just watched fucking Blythe, Haunting of Bly Manor, which had cheesiness in it and had cliches in it, but it had characters that I liked and were impressionable, and I felt like those characters were their own character and it's not just a walking cliche, it's not just another version of something that's come before thousands of times. These characters I'm seeing right now are just typical Viking kind of, we must defend our women, you fucking plebes. You can have as cliche of a story, or cheesy as a story as you want, if you have good, well-defined characters that have come from someone's soul or have a personality. You can get away with lots of things. There's a lot of films that have gotten away with being cheesy or cliche just because they had these badass characters. We'll give it 12 more minutes. Yeah, there you go, more Game of Thrones shit. I shit on your trinkets. Hello. Big enough sex. You're a woman. There's gonna be a sex. Oh, fuck off. I mean, okay, it cut, to be fair. I've never seen this conflict brought up. Some prick. Oh, there are so many cliches in these Netflix films. It's just going to be, the whole fucking video is just going to be saying, oh, look at this cliche I found. And again, I don't really care about cliches, just have a personality. Checklist cliches, that's what they call these, where it's just some passionless, yeah, I'll do that. Sometimes it's like, okay, I really want to make a good story, I just have to put this cliche in just for this to work, but I won't use it all the time, but I'll use a few because I'm just, I want the story to work. Those cliches are alright, but this is just fucking bullshit. But Netflix, they have to deliver products, they have to deliver production line, Can't expect it all to be 100% art. They do give a lot of money to Scorsese and David Fincher and shit, so I suppose I should give them a little wank on the back for that. They're going to get raided, one of them, there's going to be some loss. Maybe their father's going to die, that little girl's father. I mean, people can complain at me all they want about you're not watching the whole thing. You need to watch the whole 10 episodes to understand it, to appreciate the full quality. But no, there is some shit out there. There's some fucking media out there that's just not worth watching, and it's pretty easy to spot early on. Then again, I did say before I didn't like Gladiator. I didn't love Gladiator. I thought it was okay. That's like a highly revered film, so maybe I'm just have a natural disdain towards this genre. Just sword and sandal. Not like fantasy, but just Viking period sort of thing, medieval without the fantasy. because I like Thrones and Lord of the Rings. So yeah, take that into account. Might just be something wrong with me. I didn't like Vikings, and that people actually say that's good, so I definitely won't like this if literally no one's talking about this. It's the big one, the big friend who's good at fighting, the muscle. Game of Thrones, it has a lot of these similar cliches, and you watch and think, oh, it's like this weird fantasy show. But there are just some distinct things that stick out to you. George R.R. Martin things like the direwolf pups and Daenerys' whole story, and then obviously Bran. You care about Bran, the incest. No! Oh, fuck. This is also a thing. No, please! We have little enough as it is. Generic. Generic formulated garbage. Factory produced. On your knees and kiss it. He's a very interesting, well-defined villain. Look how sinister he is. Look at that smile. I'll kiss it. No, you can't. You mustn't. You leave her alone. Was he laughing then? It looked like he was going to laugh. Oh, nice one. Oh, he's going to die. Oh, rip. I really cared about that kid because of that cute-ass little fight he had with his sister at the start. Don't you really care? Even you watching this second-hand. Comment if you really cared. He's not dead. I was wrong. I didn't want this. But I had no choice. Right, it's just got all the hallmark. It's just, again, it's a checklist. Don't watch this. I think it's just boring. When I put it on this list, it looks boring as hell. And it is. It's a nothing show. And I'm not low attention span. I just have a low tolerance for generic, passionless crap. Fuck. I want to watch something a bit more goofy. So there are shows that I already know are popular I might just want to look at anyway, just for the sake of it. Holiday's going to be bad. I might save that for tomorrow. I'll mainly stay away from like hard anime because it's just something I just can't break into, apart from the Hayao Miyazaki films. I'll watch Sex Education because that's a really popular show that everyone watches, and if I don't like it, it'll be really controversial, and this video will get a nice amount of views, hopefully. 52. I thought it was... fuck that. I thought these were like 20-minute bits. Sorry. Come on, there's got to be something. In terms of like shows that came out quite a while ago, Dark Crystal, I really liked that. That was actually really good. Really, like, what the fuck? Look at all this shit. I just had a story I could get invested in. Better than all this shit. Okay, what is a good place? Is that episode, 20-minute episode? 20-minute. Okay, I'll watch an episode of the good place. And you will see my ball. No, you won't, because it's down there. That's a very good opening shot. I like opening shots like that with the eyes. Very provocative. Ooh. This came out like 8 years ago, probably.
Where am I? Who are you and what's going on?
That was the trailer.
In cases of traumatic or embarrassing deaths, we erase the memory to allow for a peaceful transition.
That's pretty good lore already. Maybe it is funny and I'm just dead inside.
Oh, did I have a purse? No, I'm dead. Right. Okay.
Looks like something I'd make, that intro. This looks like a YouTuber intro.
So who's in the bad place that would shock me?
Well, Mozart, Picasso, Elvis, basically every artist ever. Again, it's an incredibly selective system. Most people don't make it here.
This is bullshit. All people who just remain innocent their whole lives because they never put themselves in challenging situations, they seem to go to heaven or whatever, the good place. And then he just mentioned all like these great artists who have to like go to the fucking, you know, mentally they have to like drive up to these extremes, you know, these fucked up places in their minds, you know, fucking see, you know, Jungian and all that. Jungian's probably fucking in hell. Jungian. Jung or what? Carl Jung, John Jung. John Wang or something. Yeah, he's gonna be a villain at the end of this series. I'm not gonna watch that far. Artists are so morally grey, so it's interesting that that was said there because of all this weird shit they do. I don't think Lars von Trier got into the good place.
What can I say? I understand Hitler.
Or Quentin Tarantino, but you kind of need to embody that side of you when you're making films like they do. You know, you gotta go to that dark place. And this place is just full of people who are just too blissfully unaware of that side to them. Fuck them. They're all normies. They're all fucking easygoing normie bastards. I don't know what to say about this one. I don't even know if it's bad or not, if I'm just a fucking prick.
You can review everything that happened.
You can review everything on Netflix. That's what I'm fucking doing. Like, okay, I know it's supposed to be like this perfect world, but it's so overlit. It looks like a reality TV show. Like, I get it, it's a big part of it, but it's just so tasteless and tacky. Maybe The Bad Place is lit by Darren Aronofsky. This feels like it's something made for middle-aged mums who are like, oh, that's a really nice picture of that kitten. Oh, that's really funny. Oh, look at that. You know, it's just... Have you seen that video on Facebook when the dog falls over? That was so adorable, but so funny. You know, middle-class, financially stable individuals, mums, women, you know, softies, those ones. This probably makes no sense. I just have nothing, I don't know what else to say. That's the only thing that I can... Like, you can convey the whole it's heavenly thing in an artistic way with the lighting, instead of just doing this.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Wait, what?
That's the best you got.
Somebody forked up.
Oh, they can't.
Why can't I say fork?
If you're trying to curse, you can't hear. I guess a lot of people in this neighborhood don't like it, so it's prohibited.
That's bullshit.
It's like being on YouTube. No. Real world. Real world's just as overlit. God, it's disgusting.
I guess he just didn't want to have sex with me.
That's correct.
Well, that's fine. I wasn't that into him anyway.
Yes, you were.
Okay, Janet, I have a question.
I'm going to stop here. I would not recommend The Good Place. It came out... There have been 4 seasons. Shit, I'm well behind on that one. Just go on Minecraft for a bit. Tempted. Oh, I'm a bit tired, I think. Right, well, I think this is it for tonight. See you tomorrow, fuckers.